Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to have you on D&D Group's knowledge sharing channel. Today, we will discuss the topic, what is a boiler? Classification of industrial boilers in the Vietnamese market. First, let's define what a boiler is. Simply put, a boiler is a closed vessel that contains water. It converts the energy released from fuel combustion into thermal energy absorbed by water through heat exchange. When heated, water boils and transforms into steam. Boilers are widely used in many industries, such as brewing, beverages, dairy, animal feed, seafood processing, food production, rubber, paper, textiles, dyeing, and pharmaceuticals. Next, let's look at how industrial boilers are classified in the Vietnamese market. Based on fuel type, boilers are categorized into two groups, liquid fuel boilers and solid fuel boilers. Liquid fuels include diesel oil and liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Solid fuels include coal, firewood, and various forms of biomass. For liquid fuel-fired boilers, the common combustion method is atomization through nozzles. Various nozzles exist, but all follow the same principle. Converting liquid fuel into fine droplets, mixing with air, then igniting. For solid fuel-fired boilers, there are three common combustion methods: fixed grate, chain grate, and fluidized bed. The first type is the fixed grate boiler, which usually uses large fuels such as coal, firewood, rice husk logs, and compressed wood blocks. The fuel is spread in layers on a fixed grate surface with air holes that allow airflow from bottom to top. Grate holes must be large enough for airflow, but this limits the use of small fuels, as they may fall through, causing fuel loss. The second type is the chain grate boiler. This method typically uses fuel sized 10 to 30 millimeters, with mixing possible up to 50 millimeters. Effective fuels include pellets, cashew nutshell residue, Indonesian fine coal, Vietnamese fine coal, dried wood chips, short rice husk logs, and compressed wood blocks. The fuel is evenly spread in a thin layer on the moving grate surface. Fuel is fed continuously at one end of the chain grate, while ash and slag are discharged at the other end. Fuel feeding and ash removal are continuous and automatic, depending on steam demand. The chain grate is made of cast iron links forming a moving surface. Between the links are narrow gaps that allow airflow through the fuel bed. Because of the narrow gaps, chain grate boilers work efficiently only with fuels larger than 10 millimeters. Smaller fuels may fall through or block airflow, reducing efficiency. The third type is solid fuel boilers using fluidized bed combustion technology. This method is typically applied to fuels with small particle sizes, ranging from 0 to 30 millimeters. Effective fuels for fluidized bed boilers include rice husk, ground rice husk, sawdust, cashew nutshell, coffee husk, wood chips, pellets, Indonesian fine coal, Vietnamese fine coal, semi-dry waste, and other types of biomass. The fluidized bed grate consists of multiple air nozzles evenly distributed across the surface, with air holes positioned horizontally or inclined at an angle of 6 degrees to 15 degrees. With this horizontal design, fuel cannot fall through the air holes, enabling fluidized bed technology to burn fuels of very small particle sizes without limitation. During combustion, this sand layer is maintained at a high temperature of 800 to 950 degrees Celsius. When low reactivity fuels come into contact with this hot sand, they ignite instantly, allowing continuous combustion. For fuels with high volatile matter, such as biomass or Indonesian coal, the inert sand layer may not be required. There is also full combustion chamber technology, mainly used in thermal power plants and rarely in smaller industries, so it will not be discussed in this video. From a structural perspective, Boilers are classified into three main types. The first type is the fire tube boiler, where flue gas passes inside the tubes, which are surrounded by water. This type is commonly used for small capacity ranges. The second type is the water tube boiler, where flue gas flows outside the tubes while water flows inside. The third type is the combination boiler, water tube and fire tube. The furnace is formed by water tubes surrounding the combustion chamber, while the boiler body consists of fire tubes. This hybrid design is typically applied for capacities below 30 tons of steam per hour. That concludes DIVI Group's sharing about the concept and classification of industrial boilers in Vietnam. This is only a limited portion of our knowledge. If there are any inaccuracies, we kindly welcome your feedback in the comments.